becomes joy and pure desire to create, to invent, to discover, to dream, to connect, to harness lightning, to expel demons, to channel magic, to capture passion, to control time, to bend emotion, to change lives, to leave a legacy.
I'm so excited, I'm sorry. So, yeah, I'll be going up and down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. Please welcome Stevie Nicks.
to tell you because my designer, who's been making my clothes since 1976, is out there somewhere. You'll enjoy this, and my very frugal mother would have been so happy that I mentioned this. This is the original Stand Back Cape. When she found out how much it cost in 1983, she would have grounded me, even though I was way too old to ground. But look at it, it's perfect. Not one thread is out of place. It lasted all that time, so it was really beautiful. So, we have a surprise for you, but I'm not going to actually introduce it yet, so I'm just going to say, this is a song that I originally wrote for Merle Haggard and Jesse Coulter, and they didn't stay married, so I took the song out. So, enjoy. It's our life. Impossible to follow. You said I'm fragile. I try not to be. I'm such a wreck for something I can't see. I had my own life, and I am stronger than you know. But I carry this feeling when you walked into my house, but you won't be walking out the door. Still I carry this feeling when you walked into my house, but you won't be walking out the door. Lovers forever, say face to face. It's my city or mountain. Stay with me, stay. I need you to love me. I need you today. my land. So this next song, I would like to introduce to you somebody that I've become really good friends with over the last several years. This song was the first single off of Belladonna, and that's a whole other story. I might get to it tonight, and I might not, I don't know, but it was. And it was unexpected, and it did exactly what Mr. Iovine thought it would do, and Mr. Petty thought it would do. So tonight, standing in for Tom Petty is Mr. Harry Styles. So this next song, just a little intro for this, it was on Belladonna too, and we never realized that it would end up being the last song in my set for the rest of my life. But it has. And it never seems to lose its power of what it was written about, because it was written about a lot of serious things. It was written about John Lennon's death. It was written about something that happened between Tom Petty and his first wife. It was about life in general for me at that point. And so it's so heavy that every time we do it, it doesn't seem almost like you've ever done it before. And that's why it's lasted so long. So ladies and gentlemen. grandfather, he was a country western singer who never really made it, but played and sang his whole life. I first really remember singing when I was probably about 5 or 6, and we used to sing little duets. When I wrote my first song when I was 16. I only met Lindsay once in high school, and he was playing California Dreaming, and I walked up to him and I just kind of burst into song and sang the song with him, and I never saw him again until his band called me and asked me if I wanted to be in their rock and roll band. Where was I when you needed me? Where was I when you cried desperately? We opened for Janis and for Jimi Hendrix and for every possible big band you can think of in San Francisco over a 3-year period of time. I got to be this close to Janis Joplin. Her connection with the audience was so incredible. And I said, I want to do what she did. Fleetwood Mac was already started when they called us and asked us if we would be interested in joining the band. One day we were totally going nowhere, and the next day we had serious jobs. At the end of the first 5 years of Fleetwood Mac, I realized 3 songs every couple of years was not going to make it for me. When I did decide to go and do Belladonna, I tried to make Fleetwood Mac understand that I was not leaving and that I would be back when they needed me. It's like the one window, sing song says that you sing it. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Once I started writing, I sort of became me. I don't really write with other people. I do collaborate in different ways to get their knowledge and their understanding of everything, and then put yours into it is always going to be better. I'm really sensitive, and that's probably why I write. I write things down because it is forever, it exists. Once I put them on paper, I can kind of let them go. All I have is a romantic image. It starts with the beginning and the end of the song. For that moment in time, you're absolutely in love. Now you know that your dreams are one, your love's a state of mind. I'm really trying to do a whole lot more than just sing songs to people. And I learned a long time ago that long after the songwriter is gone, the song will remain.
Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, it sounds like she's singing. Stevie Nicks is the first female artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. With Stevie, you're not celebrating music from long ago through the mists of time. She was standing on stage, headlining a place this size, doing her best work just 3 nights ago. She is forever current. She is forever Stevie. But what exactly does that mean? In my family, we listened at home we listened in the car, we listened wherever we could. Dreams was the first song that I knew all the words to, before I really knew what the words meant. I thought it was a song about the weather, but I knew that it was a beautiful song about the weather. I always knew the words, and I loved them all. Thunder only happens when it's raining, players only love you when they're playing. She's so wise and serene. She sees all the romance and drama in the world and she celebrates it. She will stand on stage introducing her songs, telling you how she wrote them honestly, like you're the only other person in the world. You're more than a fan, you are her friend. And her words say in so many ways, I understand you and you are not alone. And that is true Stevie. She walked a path tread by Janis Joplin and Joni Mitchell, visionary women who had to throw a couple of elbows to create their own space. Her early band Fritz opened for Jimi Hendrix and they held their own. She was far ahead of her time, creating her own sound. It was bright, it was fresh, it was magical. Next, she formed a duo with Fritz's bassist Lindsey Buckingham Nicks. Then on New Year's Eve 1974, Mick Fleetwood invited Lindsey Buckingham and herself to join Fleetwood Mac, and everybody's lives became brilliant and a lot crazier. Stevie Nicks stepped onto the world stage with unforgettable ease. I remember it well. She began creating stories that flowed from her heart to her pen, which ended up in our souls, with characters that we would always remember. Classic songs like Silver Springs, Rhiannon, Gypsy, and Sarah. In the 1980s, she released Belladonna, a rare first solo album that was as powerful as the supergroup that she was still in. It stopped dragging my heart around. She and Tom Petty took things to another level. Then she did it again with albums like The Wild Heart and Rock a Little. Whether on her own, in a duet, with her band, it's probable that at some point she found herself in a barbershop quartet. Stevie could do it all, and that is true Stevie. You can't take your eyes off her, as we've seen tonight. She's the magical gypsy godmother who occupies the in-between. It's a space that can and will only ever be hers. She's a lot like a rock and roll Nina Simone, finding the notes that only she can. And by being so unapologetically herself, she gives others permission to do the same. If you're lucky enough to know her, she's always there for you. She knows what you need. Advice, a little wisdom, a blouse or shawl. Her songs make you ache, feel on top of the world, make you want to dance, and usually all three at the same time. She is responsible for more running mascara, including my own, and all the bad days in history combined. That is true Stevie. There are few people who hold the stage like her. I was lucky enough to play with her at the Troubadour a few years ago, and the show is no longer yours, it is hers, and you take a knee as she takes it from you, and that is true Stevie. She has many solo hits. If Anyone Falls, Edge of 17, Talk to Me. There are so many gems hidden within the album. There are so many gems hidden within the albums. Songs like Belle Fleur and Garbo, Annabelle Lee and Whom I Love. However you feel or want to feel, there is a Stevie Nicks song that will meet you there. Each song is a dance. It's an emotional ballet. It is a letter to a lover or a friend. And every single year she gathers more momentum. Somewhere around 2005, 2006, this woman became God. I think we can all agree on that. On Halloween, 1 in 7 people dress as Stevie Nicks. She is both an adjective and a verb. To quote my father, that was rather Stevie Nicks. thought my mother, I Stevie nicks that shit so hard. Also the fearless leader. She is Mama Lion to her friends. She's the family member that you can always count on. I hope she knows what she means to us, what she means to yet another generation of artists who look to her for inspiration and trailblazing courage. That is true Stevie. She is so much more than a role model. She is a beacon to all of us. Whenever you hear her voice, life gets just a little bit better. When she sings, the world is hers and it is yours. She is everything you have ever wanted in a lady, in a lover, and in a friend. Stephanie Nicks, I love you. We all do. And that is true, Stevie. Please join me in welcoming to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the second time, Stevie Nicks.
I'm wondering if you're actually in my ear monitors, but I don't think you are, so I'll undo them. What I would like to say is that this speech thing that I'm supposed to give now has been following me down till the sound of its voice will haunt me for the last 2 weeks. It's not hard for me to go and play for you, but it's very hard for me to try to tell you how I thank you for this being the first girl in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sometimes I just can tell great stories because it's easy. If I'm telling a story about Prince, I can say he picked me up in his purple Camaro and we went out to his purple house in a suburb outside of Minneapolis and nobody knew where I was. And we wrote a song and he called it, It'll Take You Days to Find Her. And I can actually tell you a great story about that because it is what it is. But for me to tell you a story from my heart about what this means to me is very hard because this has never happened to me before. And I'm hoping that since it's never happened to me, and now only once, 22 men in for 0 women, and now 1 woman, that what I am doing is man, I can do it. And I'm telling all my friends, the girls in Heim, I'm going, okay, you guys, you gotta really get it together now. And one of you needs to step away and don't break up your band. Just do an album so you have it because it's gonna take 20 years. You'll be recognized again. So you'll already be 60. So you have to right now. So it's this is the problem of getting in. I started Belladonna in really thinking about it in 1979. So I'd only been with Fleetwood Mac for not quite 4 years. Really, only maybe more 3.5 years. And so this is a hard thing to do because you have to. The times are different, and it's it's going to be hard. But I know there's somebody out there that will be able to do it because I'm going to give you all the directions, and I'll do enough interviews to say exactly what to do. That everybody in my life gave me ideas of what I could say to you. This is from, and I have to just say this because I don't have my glasses on, I can't really read it. But I've read it so many times in the middle of the night, crying, going I don't have a shit idea what I'm going to say. And this morning at 4:30, my assistant came in and I'm laying there and my little Chinese cat that is laying, she lays right on my stomach and she's looking at me It's so late. And I said, and she goes, are you done? And I'm going, no, I can't do it. I have to go to bed. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to have to go out there and go like, you know what, 6 minutes is not very long. So let me move right on. And 6 minutes for me, I majored in speech communication at San Jose State. And the second I called my mom and said, I have to quit because me and Lindsay have to move to LA because the music is in San Francisco, but the record deals are in LA and we have to go tomorrow. And my mom said, okay, that's fine, but we will be withdrawing all financial support. And I said, flat out, I know, Mom. I know, and I'm up to the challenge. 3 waitress jobs, 2 cleaning lady jobs. It was cool. Lindsay worked on the music. I worked on the series. I'm very happy. Because I could get out of the house and go into the real world instead of just being in the cave with all the guys who were just laying around smoking pot and messing up my house. So it's like I go, excuse me, can I just step over your feet and your pot and everything so I can straighten this place up? And I don't get paid for doing this in my own house, but I will do it for you because I know you guys work hard. So that's just a little bit of a moment of how we got before Fleetwood Mac. Okay, so I want to tell you, this solo album thing, I started thinking about this, and I only know this because my friend Paul Fishkin in 1976, who then became my boyfriend after we went to this convention at the Acapulco Princess, which I like to call the Tequila Convention, because the first night everybody had the little necklaces. One of you here may have been there. The little necklaces around your neck, and they come and they fill it with tequila, and who's going to waste tequila? So it's like... So everybody was so drunk that nobody surfaced for 3 solid days, and then it was over. So everybody just went to the airport and left. But not me. I stayed because I'm going like, I'm already down here, somebody else paid for it, so I'm gonna enjoy this vacation. So Paul and me, I said to him, after playing Rumors, which was not even finished, but still really cool, the night before, I didn't ever hear it because I passed out as soon as I pushed play. But some people must have heard it because they spoke about it later. So I said, no, it's new songs, it's other songs, it's, more demos. And he goes like, okay. So we go on the beach and I play him probably 15 or 20 songs and he goes, wow, that's a lot of songs. Okay. And he's a record man, right? So we go back to LA and New York, we start going out, and I find out because Paul tells me that, and a year later when I said to him, do you think there's any way that I could do a discreet solo album that would not break up Fleetwood Mac? Like, and I'm going like, it's a secret. And he's like, I think so. I think if you're kind and loving and you tell them that you will always put them first and they will always be at the top of your priority list, they will understand and they will say, go do what you want to do and have fun. You'll see them in your house. So that's what we eventually did. And yes, my amazing band is still together and very strong today. So, last but not least, which probably won't be last but not least, they can't get me off this stage now that I'm on it. I want to thank, first of all, very quickly, Paul Fishkin, because he was the wise man who said, you can do both and you can have both. You just have to do it with love. That's all. Then I was introduced to his partner, Danny Goldberg, who became Paul's and our group guru and our calm coach, who kept us calm. I was gone all the time, so they were like talking about this and trying to put it together calmly and serenely. And so I'm off in the world doing Rumors and Tusk, and they're working behind the scenes to see if they can make this happen. And then it happened. We formed a record company called Modern. We went to Mr. Doug Morris at Atlantic, my hero, and I said, so Doug, and it's me, so Doug, what I want to do is I want to make a Tom Petty album, straight up rock and roll, and I have 2 great girl singers, Lori and Sharon, that are amazing, and we're going to be Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I'm going to be Stills, and they're going to be Nash and Crosby. So we're going to be straight up rock and roll, but we're going to sound like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And Doug's like, Fan-fucking-tastic. Sorry, didn't mean to swear, but so then I said, who produces Tom Petty? He goes, Jimmy Iovine, and I'm going like, so can you set me up with Jimmy Iovine? And he goes, yeah, I can. So he says, I'll give him a call. So he calls Jimmy, and he sets us up to go and have dinner. So we go and have dinner, and I tell him the same thing. Tom Petty, straight up rock album, but we want to sound like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And he goes like, okay, I can do it. I haven't done a girl album in a while. So we go, okay, good. We both went back to LA because he was there working on finishing Tom's record. So we get there, 10 days later, I moved in with Jimmy. It's just how it was. So, I moved in with Jimmy, I ordered to make tiny pizzas, and waited for him to finish the album, Tom's album. Meanwhile, me and Lori and Sharon are practicing all our three-part harmonies, which Jimmy and nobody else really wanted to hear. So we were going to be damned if we weren't going to be on that album being Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So we got so good during that next 6 weeks that when he was done and we started Belladonna, we were ready. So we lost it and we made an album in 3 months, which is unheard of, especially in those days. We were focused, we were together, we were organized, and we made a great album. And then Jimmy came to me and said, we have a problem, Stevie. We made a great album, but you don't have a single. And I'm like, seriously? We don't have a single? And you didn't tell me until now? And he goes, well, I thought it would work out. I thought one would come to my head, and it didn't. And so, but I have a plan. Tom Petty says, you can have Stop Dragging My Heart Around. It's already recorded. He'll sing it with you, and problem solved. And I finally got to meet Tom Petty. Who Jimmy had kept me a secret from because he didn't want Tom to get pissed off and think that his attention was going to be taken away because he had a new girlfriend. So I hid in the basement. It was fine. I got to hear everything and eavesdrop all through it. So anyway, Jimmy, Doug, Paul, Danny, also Irving Azoff, because I had to hire him in 1976 because my mother said, you better get some help here because you don't have anybody taking care of your money. So I hired Irving, who gladly said, sure, I'll do it. Not having any idea that he'd still be sitting here tonight going like, sure, I'll do it. My press agent, Liz Rosenberg, who I met in 1976, who is still press agenting for me, and she's the best. She's the Rona Bear of today, and I adore her. And she's elegant and incredible, so talk to her if you can. She'll get you in a newspaper. And then there was Howard Kaufman, who passed away a little while ago, who then became my manager when Irving had to go become the president of a record company. And that was okay, because we all have to branch out. And let's see, and Cheryl, who when Howard passed away, then took on the mantle of being my manager, which is no easy thing, because I don't agree with anything anybody said, especially when it's a girl. But thank you, Cheryl, for giving it your all. Anyway, you have been a fantastic audience.